What's God got to do with it? And this week, our guests are reflecting on religious scenarios which may have made you come closer or maybe turn you away from your faith. Indian chess player Soumya Swaminathan quit a competition in Iran after she refused to wear the headscarf. But what do you make of her decision to do that? Was she right to quit, or should we respect the laws of the land? In a Facebook post, she wrote, "Under the present circumstances, the only way for me to protect my rights is not to go to Iran." What do you think about that? Joining me on today's panel to discuss this is Mark Worsley, a practicing Christian, Navida Bhatti, a Muslim, and Imtiaz Shams, chairman and founder of Faith to Faithless. Hi guys, you all okay?
Yeah, fine.
Thanks for having us.
You going to let other people talk today, Navida?
Of course I am. Of course I am. I love hearing other people's opinion.
Fine, fair enough. So, yeah, we're talking today mainly about this chess player's decision to quit a competition in Iran because she refused to wear the headscarf. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that we should be respecting the laws of the land when we're there? So, for example, if you go to Iran, wear the headscarf. Is that the right thing, or can you see where she's coming from and her principles by boycotting? Mark, what do you think?
Totally agree. I think the decision she's made to boycott the tournament is right. But because I think what she is also showing is that she also respects the law of the land, because you can't just come into another country and change its law or just say, look, I'm an international sports person and you guys need to adapt to me a little bit. So she's done the right thing by boycotting and taking a stand, basically, which I think is very, very commendable in my opinion.
What do you think, Imtiaz?
I think, the problem with these kind of situations is we say law of the land is important to follow up till a point, right? So if let's say the chess tournament was in Saudi Arabia where you have to have a male guardian, we'd all scream and shout about it. No one would be comfortable with it. But somehow, forcing her to wear a piece of cloth around her head and her not being able to engage with a tournament is okay, which it clearly shouldn't be. I mean, it's not just her. In the last 6 months, Dorsa, which is an Iranian chess player herself, was banned from playing in Iran because she broke the law of the land by playing a chess tournament without a hijab, and then she now plays for the US. And just last year, also a American player from Georgia, she in the same way had to pull out because this was not allowed. Now, we need to ask the question why the World Chess Tournament is hosting things in Iran when they're trying to get more women to play chess.
Correct.
Navida?
Okay, guys, I want to see the world. Isn't it amazing that you've got that opportunity as a chess player to go into different cultures, adapt that, see what the world is about you. We shouldn't just be closed off in our own community or our own country or our own way of thinking. The world is big out there. She should take that. She should see this as an opportunity to go and see a different culture. Now, everyone's going on about the hijab. Let's break it down. It's a dupatta. It's a scarf, right? Most women wear it when you go, to any religious functions in a religious place. I'm a Muslim, but if I went in a synagogue, I will cover my head. If I went into a gurdwara, I'd cover my head, even though they're not my religions. But I'm respecting what's around me. So, respect to her. It's her opinion and what she wants to do. But why are you making such a big deal? You're number 5 in India in the chess, 97 in the world. Why wouldn't you go and become number 1 so your voice is louder and you'll be able to make a point, go back, and then you can say...
Navida, there are countries like Malaysia. Malaysia is an Islamic country and people do wear the hijab there, but you don't have to wear... You wear it in, let's say, a chess championship. So it is the responsibility of the chess tournament not to host things in countries where they are forced... I'll give you another example. Let's say we had a country like Austria, which tomorrow decided to entirely ban the hijab, right?
Like France has.
Well, France hasn't done that, but
they have the face veil.
Oh, yeah.
It's a face veil, and specifically in specific situations. But let's say Austria said, actually, no hijabs at all. Then, if the World Chess tournament set their tournament in Austria at that time, and that meant that Malaysian Muslim women who cover could not play, I would say the exact same thing. I would
totally
say
agree.
that
She
it's restrictive.
has. Look, she's right to her opinion. I just think that it's not a big deal. Okay, taking something off is different to putting something on. I can understand as an Asian woman, if she's never put a dupatta on her head, but this is what it is basically. No one's saying that you have to wrap a piece of material all around you so you can't see. It's putting a dupatta. You go to somewhere religious, you go to a wedding, you go to see your elders, you go, if you go to India.
If that's true, why are so many women in Iran today taking them off and burning them?
That's their, and they're allowed to.
If it's just a dupatta, why are they burning their hijabs today?
If I can just come in, and sorry to interrupt you, but just to come in and say that, when I went to Turkey, there's a mosque they call the Blue Mosque.
Yes.
Now, going to Turkey, I knew I was going to go visit this mosque and actually go and tour it. Now, I went there with the mindset that I knew I would have to take my shoes off, I would have to go and respect the culture and the rules and abide by that. So, it is the thing where you say each to their own. And if she believes that she has her right not to wear it, I think she's gone about it the right way.
Yeah.
Only reason I say that is going the right way. She hasn't made a scene about it by saying, I'm going to go to the chess tournament.
But she has made a scene.
You
But
guys...
she's done a big tweet about it. She has said that it's against my human rights and bloody blah. Why not just be... say that it's not my way of dressing, so therefore I shall not go. But she's made more of a point there.
But of course she has, because, this does not affect men. I don't see male chess players not able to play in
I think you lot should cover up as well. I think that's
Mark,
not
just
fair.
to come back to you for a moment on this. You're talking about that situation with the Blue Mosque. So what did you do?
I had to take my shoes off going there. I had to.
Did you?
I did. And obviously I'm being a Christian. I walked in there as well. They were all praying, and I went with a group of Muslim friends of mine as well. And they advised me that, look, obviously, Mark, this is not your thing, so we probably advise you just maybe this is a sitting area over there. Just sit down, you can observe it, and just chill out for a bit while we go and pray. And for me, I was taken aback by that quite a lot, because I didn't expect that. I thought either basically if you're in the mosque, if you're in the premises of the mosque, while prayer time, you would have to pray. But they actually had a seating area for non-Muslims, which I thought was very commendable. But going back to Imtiaz's point, though, I have to say the chess governing body really should have ironed these issues out way before they decided to go there. For example, take the FIFA World Cup in 2022 in Qatar, So it's gone there. They're going to be playing an absolute ridiculous amount of heats. But not only have they changed it in December, the World Cup, but the country's also adapted by making air-conditioned stadiums.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely, and I mean, look at the recent furor over the fact that football matches are being taking place in quite racist countries where there's a real risk of harm if you're an ethnic minority. And I think
But I think there's a risk of harm in everywhere, wherever you are.
It's very different for me and you to be in certain countries as brown people than if the football was here in the UK. I would absolutely disagree with that.
Imtiaz, before we go on to that, one thing that what Mark was saying there about he took his shoes off, mark of respect. Sure. And went in there and expected that. How is that any different? What would you have done in that situation?
I would take my shoes off, absolutely. Yeah. And in fact, I do. I still go to masjids. I still,
and you take your shoes off?
I'll take my shoes off. That's totally fine.
And what about if you went to a Gurdwara or something like this? Would you respect, if you went to a temple and they said, please take your shoes off, or to a woman, please cover, please cover your shoulders if you go to
I think the key thing here is me as a man taking my shoes off is miles away from a woman being asked to put something on or to take something off. That's not the world we live in. Is not one where I'm constantly told that me having shoes on.
But there are places.
Don't women wear sun hats? That's covering your head. I mean, don't they go as fashion? Put a hat on, it's sunny outside, you put on a scarf every now and again.
Yeah.
But
what is the
you
big
can
deal?
understand
She's an Asian. I can understand if it's an English
What
girl.
is the difference?
But it's an Asian. It's the law of the land.
Surely you can understand the difference between a sun hat, which doesn't have any kind of modesty culture imbued into it, and a hijab.
I think it's a word that frightens
So I've went to the Vatican, and I can't remember what it's called now. St. Peter's.
St. Peter's Square.
It's incredible. Yeah. I've forgotten that word now, but where they've got it's an amazing place. Yeah. But so many people have, they've got a sign which is like, ladies, please cover your shoulders, and men, please wear something longer than your knees. I had to go, actually, we had to come back another day because I was wearing shorts because it was really hot, obviously, because Rome in June. I didn't have any problem with that, and loads of people don't have problems as women popping a scarf over their shoulders.
So you have chosen to go to that country to visit that church or whatever it is,
But
right?
she's going to go play chess.
Her livelihood is about chess, right? Chess is what she loves to do.
So that's what should be there in the forefront,
Chess does not have to go to a country which excludes certain women from playing.
But doesn't chess have to travel the world, bring everyone into play, make them more aware of the game? Isn't that she's put a negative?
I'll give you an example. If there was a country that murdered gay people because they had an extreme Christian background, and let's say my friend was gay and he was a chess player, would that be right for him to travel
He will
to
be
that
protected.
country? But
Let him see.
The key point you're making is he would be protected from the law of the land. That's what I'm saying. If Iran is to hold these chess tournaments, they have to make concessions for...
No, the chess association.
Let him finish.
They have to make concessions, just like if a country has laws. Like say Saudi Arabia, as a woman, you will have to be taken with a man that is your mahram, right? Now, clearly, you're not going to be comfortable with that if you go to Saudi Arabia. However, if you have to go there because some sort of thing you care about, whether it's your work, professional life, or whatever it is there, it makes a lot of sense to force Saudi Arabia to make concessions. And that's what's happened when Melania Trump and the Trumps went to Saudi Arabia. She did not actually have to follow the same laws that other women in Saudi Arabia have to follow. They made concessions. I think it's a completely reasonable thing for the world chess champion to go, Iran, you want to do this? Cool.
Isn't that creating first-class citizens and second-class citizens, though?
Ideally, they should be not forcing any women to wear anything, right? I agree with that. But at least they can start somewhere where if they really want to be hosting these kind of very, very influential, important championships.
So we've got a text, first of all, and anyone else who's listening wants to get involved with this, because it's lovely hearing all these different opinions. I want to know what you guys at home are thinking. You can obviously email us, thebigdebate@bbc.co.uk, call us 03459 440 445, or text us 81869. That's what someone's done here. They've not given their name, but that's fine. The text reads, I think she's done the right thing not to wear the hijab. Maybe she doesn't want to be oppressed by wearing and covering to accommodate these people. It's not a religious place of worship. If it was, that would be different, and fair enough, she should. I think the two guys you got on are right. Tell your lady on the show to actually stop being so narrow-minded. So apparently you're being
I'm not being narrow-minded, and I first said that she has every right to her opinion and not go there. If that's what she stands for, that is absolutely fine.
In Naveeda's defense, I would say that, look, I understand where you're coming from.
Yes.
I think that this is slightly, I would say, where we differ is this, where we would differ is that this is a slightly different situation to going to a gurdwara and taking your shoes off. That's where we differ.
Where you choose to actually go into a religious place. Is that what you
but
think?
look at Princess Diana, look at Kate Middleton. They've gone into these Muslim countries. There's pictures of them. Google it. They've got the dupatta on their head. I think people make too much of an issue. You're going there for something you love, the chess. Concentrate on that. If while you're playing chess you have to put a dupatta on, fair enough. When you get to your hotel room, you can take it off. It's not a problem.
Mark, what do you think?
Navida, what it is I think what this chess player is feeling is by putting that on, it's associating herself with the religion of Islam. And I think that's
nuns wear.
But hear me out. That's what it might be. Now, if I was asking the Blue Mosque to cover my head, you know what Muslim men wear, wearing a topi on top, I wouldn't have an issue with that. But that's purely down because I come from a very, very mixed background myself. My mum was born a Muslim, but she married my dad and she chose to take up Christianity and follow that.
Fine.
Now, I come from that mixed background where some of my family back home in Pakistan are still Muslims. Yeah. And maybe it's just down to the fact that maybe I'm just relaxed like that.
No, but I'm mixed. I'm mixed as well.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's not a problem.
But your open-mindedness is what allows you to be that way. Maybe she's not open-minded to it. And for her, it's like, if I wear a hijab or I have to cover myself in a burqa, it's not just a cloth for her.
The thing,
it's associating herself with
I get what you're saying here, Mark, but the thing is, though, as someone on that pedestal, it's not like Messi or someone, with like a huge, billions of people, but, it's still high profile Kate. This is a top ranked chess player here. And, this has made the news globally because we're talking about it. Isn't that actually portraying something though? And you know, she's putting a stance out there that isn't narrow-minded. That, as you said, you know, might not be as open-minded as, you know, yourself and Navida or me or whatever. Isn't that actually negative?
It definitely is, and if you look at it that way, she is basically saying, look, women, if you don't believe in a certain way, stand up for yourself. But at the same time, she needs to sort of come in at a bit of an approach where I think where she's also trying to say, look, we have to sort of be a bit relaxed. We have to have a bit of an open mind to stuff because we do need to sort of embrace different cultures. But once again, I go back to my point. I think the stance she's taken is not wrong. I think she's done the right thing.
Yeah, for herself.
Guys, you all got your headphones on?
Yeah.
Good. We're going to go to a caller. We're going to go to Shailesh from Birmingham who's called in. Thanks so much for getting involved, Shailesh. What do you think about this?
Well, you see, you guys are saying, well, when you went to a mosque or whatever, didn't you cover up or whatever? You see, first of all, this chess tournament wasn't being held in a mosque, right?
So, first of all, before we go to that, before we go to that, what?
Oh, okay.
Do you agree with the girl here?
I absolutely, totally agree with her. You see, if
I do apologise to anyone out there if there was a slight slip. But carry on. Sorry, Shailesh. Go on.
If we have to respect Muslims for what they want to wear, they also have to respect us for what we don't want to wear. Yes, it works both ways. Why can't she be accepted for whatever who she is? And she you know, say why, you know, this is why people are a bit fed up of, and people talk about like Islamization and what have you not. You see, this is wrong. She shouldn't have even been asked. If she wanted to, she could have worn one by herself. She should not even have been asked. I think that's totally wrong.
What do you guys make of that?
Well, okay, if you're going as part of a tournament in any country, of course, it's down to the association and the coach to tell you, look, this is what you can do in this country, this is what you can't do in this country, this is how you stay safe, don't go here, don't go there. So at the end of the day, she's being told that, they're the law of the land. Now, I don't think it's just about this whole, you have to become a Muslim and everything. If I went to India, I went to Amritsar to the Golden Temple. I took my shoes off, I put a dupatta on my head and I went around. And so it's not a problem, and that's why you should be able to...
Guys, we're going to have to wrap it up in 40-odd seconds or so. But Shailesh, thanks so much for your call there. It's been lovely. Just a final point from yourselves, Imtiaz and Mark, on what Shailesh was saying.
Yeah, I mean, on some level, I agree with him. I think that the forced
there needs to be compromise.
Well, there needs to be compromise, but we all compromise all the time. And I think I don't blame her. I wouldn't blame the victim in this, and I don't even necessarily blame Iran. I blame the chess championship organization because they're
putting them in that position.
We're putting both in the position. Now, Iran has a lot of problems. Women are pushing against the Iranian regime, but let's take them out of this. Okay. It's their fault.
Fortunately, guys, we're out of time right now, but thank you so much to my guests, Imtiaz, Mark and Navida. It's